Good evening, good afternoon, whatever, everyone. Uh, I'm your host, Night Strike, and it is now time for the Friday Night Strike. And yes, I know. Where was I last week and the week before? Well, let me tell you, with family, I've been going to the doctor and the hospital way too much, and I have found out that there's obviously something seriously wrong with me because apparently I go to the hospital and the doctors, but I don't get to see the doctor at all. So there must be something seriously wrong with me. No, I'm kidding. My grandmother's health is going down, and I've had two different emergencies the past 2 weeks, and it's not fun. So I she's fallen down twice in the span of 2 weeks. Funnily enough, on a Friday, both weeks. I don't understand how that works, but no, luckily nothing's broken. So no. Anyways, uh, so we're doing the Friday Night Strike tonight because, well, I have time now. I'm not taking anyone to the hospital or the doctors, so yay. I know last week, the week before, people were wondering what happened, and I'm letting you know that's what happened. Who we got out there? We got JH586. Hey, buddy, how's it going? And we got Two Live Moo, and hello, Two Live Moo, and everyone's favorite bird, Gizzard Gary's out there. So we got a couple individuals. Let's see. Anybody else? That's it for right now. Maybe more people soon. Who knows? It's up in the air. Oh well. But yeah, I was watching the news when I was eating lunch today because I was out working, taking care of things, and you know, I find it hilarious that the Democrats think that their whole New Deal is going to reopen the government while not dealing with border security or the wall. And not that I really think we should have a wall. We should have increased security at the border. We should probably set up more security points at the border. But necessarily a wall, no. Maybe a fence is good enough. But the fact that they'll give $25 billion to Israel, but when it comes to just $5 to $7 billion for a fence or wall, and they're saying no. What the fuck? Stop giving money to all these other countries, and then we'd have money to beef up border security, to actually work on the actual problems. I'm just saying. It's ridiculous. Freaking ridiculous. Anyways, so I haven't really seen anything that's caught my eye from SHOT Show, really. Unfortunately. I mean, the KS7 looks nice. But again, I'm not that big into bullpups. And at the price point they probably want for it, I'm just going to say no right there. And Shadow Walker's out there. What's going on, Shadow Walker? How's it going? But I don't know. SHOT Show has been pretty much this year. It seems like it's the year of the polymer. Everybody's coming out with something polymer. I mean, Colt has brought the King Cobra. Ooh, a 357 Magnum revolver. Yeah, you're going to make everyone forget that you made the Python 15 to 20 years ago. And, we're just going to completely ignore the Python because you've got the King Cobra. I just no, just Colt, just give it a rest. Okay. Taco and French fries is out there. Good evening. Good evening, Taco and French fries. You might like a video that I'm working on right now. Hopefully this evening or possibly tomorrow I'll have it released. I'm starting a new challenge for some of the YouTube guys that make videos. And, you might enjoy that, tacos and French fries. JH586 says, I'm kind of interested in the 350 Legend from Winchester. Well, yeah, I mean, it's Winchester. They have good stuff. Armament and Axis is out there. Hello, all. Hello, Axis and Armaments. All right, Theodore E. Bear is out there. He's saying, what's up? Not much. Not much. Let's see. Probably give people some links. Someone to good old Gizzard. Someone to Chris. Who else is out there? That's about it. So, if you're brave enough to jump on the Friday Night Strike and hang out and just talk, go for it. You're more than welcome, unless your name is. I'm not going to say that. But, certain individuals I will not give links to. Let's just put it that way. So, what is this early crap? What do you mean, what is this early crap? I've missed it twice. So, it's not my fault. Guitar Man Pete is out there. Reading to the boy time, but listening. All right, well, good luck, Guitar Man. Obnoxious one that says, what this early crap? Well, you know what? Deal with it, Sunshine. Deal with it, Cupcake. Suck it up, Buttercup. Armament and Axis says, what? No link for the wanky? Marshall? No link. Budget Guns and Gears out there. What's going on, Budget? Hey, it's Gary.
What's up?
How you doing?
Just sitting here trying to relax on a Friday afternoon, getting ready for my show later. I was actually watching Sarge out there on Hoover Dam. He's live streaming right now.
But, JH586 says, sorry to hear about your grandmother, Night Strike. Don't worry about it. I mean, she's 96 years old. I think she's pretty much had a good run. I mean, sure, I'd like her to live longer, but, quite honestly, you're not much use to anyone if you can't walk. Yeah. I'm still taking care of her regardless, but, it's rough when you have to go to the hospital twice in the span of 2 weeks. So, it's just rough. I mean, I love my grandmother, but family, what can you do? Anyways, Gary, good to have you on. Good to hear that. I just had to respond to what they were saying out on the YouTube side because that's what the show is. Good to hear that you're doing good and everything's going well. And yes, you have a show this evening, don't you?
I do. You're in about 3 hours.
Well, what are we calling it again?
I believe it is called Fowl Territory. FOWL Territory.
I see what you did there.
But it's not necessarily about fowl. Although we can talk about fowl if you want to.
Yeah. Well, maybe some of the some of the people you have on probably are foul.
They tend to cross the line. Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. They cross party lines.
It's all right. We allow that on foul territory.
All right. Psycho 316 is out there saying, "Hey guys, what's going on, Psycho?" Michael Sains is out there saying, "Hi, everybody." Hello, Michael. Taco and French fries saying hello to Psycho. We got budget guns and gears in here now too. If you can't stay, that's fine. Budget, just know that I gave you a link.
Cool. I'll drop out about a quarter till and set my stuff up.
Yeah, remember, we only run this for like maybe mostly just like either half hour or an hour, whichever.
Oh,
if people want to run, if people want to run longer, we'll run longer. But normally it's just half an hour to an hour.
Should be plenty of time.
Yeah. So Tacos and French Fries says, Night Strike, what is your next firearm purchase? I'm not buying another firearm right now. I can't afford to buy another firearm right now. Hell, I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to go to Tulsa. So, I mean, what I did lately is I spent a whole bunch of money on 357 SIG and a barrel for my carry gun. But when, you can get 20-round jacketed hollow point boxes of 357 SIG for $9.99 a box, you jump on that shit.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because I've looked everywhere else. Everybody wants for the same stuff. They want like $25 a box for 20 rounds. So, I mean,
ouch.
Am I the only one here that sees that as a good deal?
Nope.
You reload, don't you, or not?
No, I don't reload. I know how to. I just don't have the equipment just because, let's put it this way, I'm a cheap ass.
Got to start somewhere. I started on a single stage and you just,
I'll say I'm a cheap ass and I'm always on a budget.
Yeah, well, I know the feeling. I just dumped $120 on reloading supplies, so, but that'll keep me loading for a few minutes.
And Michael Sains was saying out there about anybody in Illinois. He's saying Illinois, we have some serious anti-gun, anti-2A crap going on in Illinois that we need to get off our asses and stand for our rights before they're gone. It's not just Illinois. We need to do that all over because we're getting hammered no matter where it is. I mean, there's somebody in the South Carolina House of Representatives that want to impose a 7 to 8% tax on firearms, which it's against the law already federally, but they think they can get that through for all firearms sales and purchases in South Carolina. And,
what are they going to do to them if they do? Nothing.
No. But again, the South Carolina State House and Senate have a 75% majority of Republicans as opposed to Democrats. So I really don't see that going through.
Hopefully not.
And considering it will hurt the market, and people will get laid off that work for firearms manufacturers in the state of South Carolina because of it. And I don't think people want to lose their jobs, and I don't think they're going to, do anything that would affect someone's job. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of pissed off people at the state Senate building and House. Just saying. So,
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's everywhere. We need to get out there, and people are saying, "Well, Night Strike, we need to keep doing these 2A rallies." Yeah, the 2A rallies are nice. They're really nice, but the problem is, I don't want to have to go and set one up in South Carolina because I got shit response from everyone last time. I don't want to do it again. I'll go to one, but I'm not going to organize it again because I'm shit for organizing. Okay, and the thing is, I don't think these state level protests are doing a lick of good. I mean, I know people are getting pumped up and starting to get some of that fire back, but after what happened, that protest in Pittsburgh, and now the Pittsburgh council and mayor are just completely ignoring that and saying, "Oh, we're gonna put all these anti-gun laws in place anyways, so just suck it up." Completely ignoring that huge protest they had there, No, after the fact, and I don't think it's making we're making a big enough point.
And unfortunately, you can write your congressmen, all your politicians. They're still going to do what they want, and they're on an agenda. I'm telling you, and this red flag bullshit, and hearing about the gun registration in Illinois. I'm like, y'all seeing this? Because this is the first step to total confiscation.
And I know I'm always the first one that wants to jump straight to, rebellion or civil war, and that's not really the case. It's just, how long do we wait before it's pretty much already over and we have to turn everything in?
I ain't turning in anything, so come and get them.
Yeah, that's my point. But how long do we wait before the point where they are going to come and get them?
Well, and what happens when we're kind of we're all friends, and word gets around pretty quick. And what happens when they come for one of us, or one of your friends, or one of my friends, or anybody's friends? Word's going to get out really, really quick if they start trying to confiscate guns, and it's not going to end up well. No,
and that's the problem. Okay, granted, people are saying, "Oh, no one's going to come taking your guns." The Democrats have said for years, "No, we don't want to take your guns." But this year, at the beginning of the year, when asked about it, the Democrats came out and said, "You're goddamn right, we're going to take your guns." They said that nationally. We're coming to take your guns. Okay, so the whole old party line of no one wants to take your guns is over. They want to fucking take them. They've said it already. It's just that we have to get out there.
No surprise, they've been saying it. Back in back when who was it? Was it Feinstein or I think it was Feinstein? Or maybe it was Pelosi. No, it was Feinstein with the whole Mr. and Mrs. America. If I could have got 51 votes, turn them all in. It's if anyone's been paying attention, they've been saying it for decades.
Well, yeah, and
they have, but they've also been hiding behind the Democrats and saying nobody wants to take your guns. We just want common sense regulation. They've been saying that party line for years.
Yeah,
but now they've come out this year and saying, "Oh no, we're taking. We want them all. We do not want you having anything. We want you to be a victim. We want you to be defenseless.
We want you to be a subject."
I'm sorry, but this ain't fucking Europe. This is the United States of fucking America. And I will not apologize for cursing like that. If you have children, you probably shouldn't be watching the Friday Night Strike or Hit or Miss. Just FYI. Because I get glib.
I tell you, dude, I'm right with you there. I just how far is it going to go?
I mean, wait. When do we wait till the battle's already over? Is that when we wait? I mean, it comes to the point where someone is going to have to grow a pair of balls, stand up and say, "No, I'm not going to take this anymore. You're not going to do anything anymore." And people stand behind it, and to a point where people stand behind them and say, "Yeah, we're getting sick and tired of this." No. And whether that's an act of defiance or whether that's, an actual march or a protest somewhere, but it's got to happen. Unfortunately, it's got to happen. It doesn't have to be armed. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be, a conflict. It just needs to be, we need something more than just the state protests. We need a national protest.
As the 2020 presidential election campaigns start to ramp up, we're going to see a lot more guns are bad, we got to take the guns coming. Bloomberg has set aside $180 to $200 million so that he can campaign for president. And he's seriously, he's formed exploratory committees and they are looking into it. He's going to run for president, and Bloomberg has been behind for those that don't know, don't pay attention. Bloomberg has been behind every anti-gun measure that has come out in the past couple decades. He's funding all the anti-gun organizations. So with a Bloomberg candidacy, things are going to come right out in the open, and I suspect that their gloves are going to come off, and they're going to really go out at hammer and tongs to come for us. I think this next election is either going to make it or break it for us.
This next election, if a Republican is not elected, what's going to happen is the Democrats are going to do something insanely stupid, and nobody's going to say anything, and they're going to come and take stuff, and that's going to spark either an act of rebellion or it's going to spark a civil war.
Well, I think it'll be fought out in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court will rule in favor of gun rights, given the composition of the Supreme Court as it currently stands, particularly if Ginsburg retires within the next couple years. But I think that the gun grabber crowd, they'll just ignore the Supreme Court. I think when they start ignoring the Supreme Court, I think that's the line in the sand for me. That's a pretty good indicator that the rule of law has flown right out the window, and that something needs to be done.
Yeah. Then we become
Then we see if we still have 3%.
Yeah, that's about it. I'm right with you there too, because honestly, I mean, any anti-gun bill law is against the Constitution to me. So, if they get to the point and they're already saying we want your guns, well, that's totally anti-Constitution. And to me, they're breaking their oath of office just saying that, because they held their hand and said, I will defend the Constitution, and they're not. They're destroying it. And I'm sorry, but
unless it's another dud like Kavanaugh, well, love him, hate him, like him or not, as far as his rulings have gone so far,
he's trying to play both sides.
We'll see where he comes down on this next case that they have coming up to the Supreme Court, which I'll be talking about in about 40 minutes or so.
I have more faith in Gorsuch than I do Kavanaugh, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to rule on the liberal side on any Second Amendment issues. I really don't.
I honest to God, am praying and hoping that he doesn't. But again,
I could be wrong.
Hope and a prayer.
If my crystal ball worked all the time, I'd be playing the lottery, and I wouldn't be doing pretty much any damn thing else but training and shooting and doing whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's what the Mike Militia does.
That's right.
Now, we're not the Travi Collective, but hey.
Yeah.
Well, you say the militia, and this is a good point. Anytime you try and start a militia, and just for the protection of what doesn't matter, it's our right by the Constitution, you're looked down on as a domestic terrorist.
Yeah. Oh, you guarantee you'll have at least one federal agent in there too.
Yeah.
And in times past, there would be agents provocateur as well, to try to get you to do some shit wrong, like they did with Randy Weaver.
And at that point,
how that turned out.
Yeah.
At that point, you find the people that are making trouble and you kick them out. Unfortunate, but it has to happen.
I don't know if you guys know what the Cloward-Piven strategy is. Look it up. Basically, the politicians start passing laws and making things look like it's so bad that we have no choice other than socialism. I can say
they're doing that in New York already.
Mm-hmm. I've been watching it for years, man, and look up Cloward-Piven strategy. It'll explain it all.
And tacos and French fries. Yeah, you're right. Randy is extremely lucky he had that attorney, whose name escapes me right now. But he's extremely lucky he had that attorney to help him out. That, and their case was bullshit to begin with.
Right.
But I suspect that if we see a Bloomberg presidency, and especially if the socialists then gain the House and the Senate in 2020, we're going to see more of that. Waco and Ruby Ridge, those will look like freaking tea parties in comparison, and not the kind where you throw it in the harbor either.
I just posted a link in our chat in the YouTube to Cloward Piven. But yeah, honestly, I mean, I don't know. I think Bloomberg's got a chance. Well, voter fraud maybe, but I don't know.
He's going to spend up to $200 million on this, and he can afford to spend more. I mean, that's nothing to him. The dude's worth $50 billion. Think about that.
Yeah.
$50 billion. He can buy all the exposure and all the ads and all the opinion polls and all the voter fraud and all the any damn thing he wants. Plus, you want to talk collusion, the legacy media will be colluding with him and giving him free coverage and free positive coverage for him and free negative coverage for Trump, just like they've been doing for the last 2 years. Oh, yeah, he could win. I mean, nobody thought Trump could win. He sure as shit did. Bloomberg could win. Make no mistake.
Yeah, it's a scary proposition. I mean, it's just, and like I said, man, I'm 52. I've been watching this crap for a long time, and I've watched Bloomberg, and his money is behind so much anti-gun.
Well, it's not just anti-gun. Remember the whole you can't have salt at the table in New York.
Yep, and
you can only
soda
have
only so big.
Size sugary drinks. These people want to say what you can eat, what you can drink, when you can shit, when you can piss, whatever they want. They want to have control over. They want to have control over it, and Bloomberg is behind it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be honest.
Since we're on Night Strike show, I'll go ahead and call him a little dick motherfucker that wants to compensate for not having a dick at all.
Hey, that is my thing. That is my thing.
What? Did you have a little dick? You trying to compensate?
Wrong context. Okay.
So you may want to clarify.
The cursing is my thing, but again. It's just that I'm going to have the largest, biggest motherfucking Coca-Cola or Pepsi or Mountain Dew or whatever flavor of soda beverage that I want. And if anybody other than my family tells me I shouldn't have that and I don't need to have that, they can go to fucking hell.
Well, you know what?
And if they don't believe in hell, then I'm going to tell them to take a long walk off a short pier, and I hope to God there's a shark at the end of it.
Old Papa Bloomberg, if he's elected, you think that shit will just be confined to New York? No, it'll go everywhere. That's the whole point. Remember, I show all the time. Gun control is never about the gun. It's always about the control. And that extends to all this other shit that Bloomberg has done in the past. Yeah, Slim Cowboy says, shall not be given free refills.
No, you're right.
Shit. If they instituted that kind of law, I'm telling you right now, I would fucking rebel on that.
They've done it.
That would be a rebellion in South Carolina.
That shit
right
in New York, man.
Yeah, well,
it's crazy.
In New York, people have this thing where it's okay to be oppressed. And I'm sorry, but this is the United States of goddamn America. It's not okay to be oppressed. It's not okay to be tyrannical. It's not okay to let people stand on other people.
Here's the thing. If Bloomberg and the rest of the socialists get in power further, it won't be the United States of America anymore. Not as we know it.
That actually leads to an interesting conundrum. Bloomberg has too much money, and the socialists of New York don't want him to have that much money.
Oh, that's okay for them.
No, it's not, because
have it.
they want to take 75% of his money away from him so they could redistribute it among the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when they say redistribute it, they mean really just hold on to it for the ruling party.
Like Budget said, it's never been about gun control. It's about people control, period.
It's about control.
Yep,
period.
Just control. I mean, the whole soft drink and
they just want to make it to where no one can fight back, and you're literally oppressed. I'm sorry, but this ain't fucking Russia. This ain't the fucking Cold War, and we do not live in the Soviet Union. And anybody that tries to bring that motherfucking shit to the United States, I will defiantly act against them.
Yeah,
think about this. I mean, and don't say it can't happen.
I'm not saying it can't happen.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez got elected, and that bitch is shithouse crazy.
Well, she does have crazy eyes.
She's nuts. People say she's stupid. She's not stupid. She's very smart. She's 29 years old. A freaking bartender, 29 years old, got elected to Congress. She is not dumb. She's just nuts. She's nuttier than a bucket of squirrel shit.
Good one. Yeah, and
who's a good crazy individual to use as an example other than her? Who do we know that's certifiably crazy?
Nancy Pelosi.
No, I mean,
she's just evil.
Bonkers.
Yeah, Moonbat.
Okay. Let's put it this way. This is going way overboard. But Ocasio-Cortez makes Yankee look like a sound individual.
Oh yeah.
She makes Yankee look normal.
She makes Yankee look conservative.
Right?
Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking shit about Yankee. I like the guy.
Either. I'm not either. I'm just saying that's how
exactly
crazy she is.
Conservative of fellows, and that's fine. But
we're just using Yankee as an example because Yankee has stated now that he's no longer a Democrat. Even he's an independent, and if he wants to be an independent, I'm cool with that. Yes, he has liberal leanings, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but he's got classic liberal leanings. As he states it,
exactly.
He's more or less an independent because he doesn't want to choose a side because to him both sides suck. And quite honestly, he is actually right about that. Both sides do suck, but at least I prefer the libertarian Republican side because it sucks less.
Yes. South Park had it right. It's a choice between a giant douche and a shit sandwich. That's it. Which one do you want?
The less of two evils. That's the choice we get left with every.
That's how it's going to be until a viable third party arises, and the only way that a viable third party is going to arise is for that to start happening at the local level. People voting in the third party candidates on their local elections, the town council, all school board, all that good stuff, going into their state legislature, and then building up into the national. You have to have that broad base first, and they haven't been able to get that yet.
Well, unfortunately, the two parties have the money and the power, and that, you know what I mean? And that's the hardest thing is to get that independent party, whether it be, even if it would be libertarian. I mean, it's still considered that third, you're not part of the two big groups. So, the money is what it's going to take. And like you said, though, if you start at the local level, and these local politicians start moving up the chain, up the ladder, maybe people's eyes will start to be open to the things. I don't know. I can't believe how people's eyes aren't open now to, when you see the fake news and then they come out and go, oh, well, yeah, that was fake. We didn't even know the full story. We got it all wrong.
And then they just, okay, I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
I've seen that on my Facebook feed with people that I know about this whole the Make America Great Again hack kid, about how that fake news bullshit went out. But then who cares? He's still bad because he's a Trump supporter. So bad. down with Trump. I hate Trump. Fuck Trump. You know, and even though that story was all bullshit, doesn't matter. The kid had the mega hat on, so fuck him. That's what they say.
What I can't remember who it was, but he was a black man, and somebody accused him of white privilege, and he just started laughing. I guess they didn't know he was black.
Yeah, the CNN analyst did that. They were they were calling into the show on from remote, and they weren't in the studio together. She couldn't see him, and she told him he had white privilege.
Yeah. Well, you know, according to Yankee, white privilege is such a major thing in our country. So
well, I hear in Texas you have to go down to the local DMV to get your white privilege card.
I never felt privileged, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I've had to bust my ass my whole life to get anywhere.
I've never had privilege either.
Grew up on welfare, getting food stamps and all that shit, and when I became an adult, I started busting my ass and worked hard to get where I'm at. Hell, my brother went from fucking welfare and starving at the end of the month to being a goddamn magistrate. He worked his way through law school by working full-time, going to college and law school at the same, while working 40 hours a week. If he can do it, anybody can do it. There is no fucking privilege. Pardon my language.
And this is the thing too. You know, people want to scream this white privilege, but how many scholarships are available to minorities that are not available to Caucasian people? Yeah. Far more. Just because you're a minority. Oh, okay. Well, you know, that's going to end. You know,
don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that
hey, I'm not against that. I just don't tell me there's white privilege.
There's not a barrier there based on race and whatnot, because, you know, let's face it, racism still exists. Yes, it goes both ways, but it does still exist. So I'm not saying that there shouldn't be programs in place to help minorities who are impoverished in the inner cities to bootstrap themselves up out of it. But that's just it. Make it for being a bootstrap so you can pick yourself up. You know, and that's how that needs to be done. You know, I just, to say that just because you're white means that you have privilege is complete horseshit, because I grew up poor as hell.
Yeah, I grew up.
I never had no privilege, and I still don't. I have the privilege to get out and bust my ass and risk my life at a dangerous job every day to make my money.
Right. Yeah, I was raised by a single mom. My dad really didn't pay much child support. And back in those days, the amount of child support wasn't very much. She raised 4 kids, worked constantly, you know, and yeah, tell me where this white privilege thing is for me. Cause as soon as I got out of school, I started working and had kids, and I ain't been handed a whole heck of a lot just because I was white. That's for sure.
And if I was supposed to get my privilege card, I got cheated.
Yeah, me too.
So,
sorry to kind of take over your show, dude.
Well, it kind of happens, but right. Shut up, infringed. There we go.
Had to get that frog in your throat out to.
Yeah, you know, it's in there pretty.
You should maybe start giving a headphone warning or something when you do that.
No, fuck that. It's my show. You want a fucking warning?
They need to expect it.
You want a fucking warning? It's on your show. My show, no warnings.
You know it's coming sooner or later, so you know it's.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, it's my catchphrase by now.
And if he starts clearing his throat like that, that's when you just hit mute on your headphones, right?
Yeah, no kidding. If you're paying attention, you should know it.
Well, how many people pay attention? I don't know.
Yeah, that's very true.
Wow, we've already got 3 thumbs down. Well,
only
thanks
3?
all you haters. Thanks all you haters for thumbing us down. That's fine. I don't care.
Thanks for the engagement.
You know.
Hey, it's still interaction and it counts, so you know.
Right. Clay is out there saying, "Night, no warning, strike."
That's about right.
It's how it goes.
There, I put a thumbs up to counteract one of them.
We're up to 19. How many did you give?
I just gave one.
Oh.
Now we're up to 20.
I thumbed it up as soon as I got here, so you know.
All right.
Yeah, I was watching Sarge out there at the Hoover Dam too, and boy, I guess he really is not a fan of heights, because when
Neither am I. And I fly in airplanes. Figure that one out.
I do too, and this is the thing. I don't mind heights as long as I'm not on the verge of, oh shit, I could fall and die. And standing on the Hoover Dam looking down, knowing unless somebody picked me up, threw me over the edge, I was pretty safe. It wouldn't bother me, you know what I mean? So, but you're not going to see me climbing antenna towers. No.
I don't like to be in a tall building. I'm terrified of heights, dude.
I don't mind tall buildings.
Nope.
As far as Hoover Dam, I don't know I've ever... I might have. I don't think I've ever been to Hoover Dam.
Well, I think you would remember that unless you were a little kid and couldn't remember.
Well, that's just it, because remember, I'm originally from that area, so I'm from Arizona, and I don't think I've never been to the Hoover Dam. I've been to Nevada before. I mean, when I was younger, we would always go to Laughlin, because that's just right over the border. But because at that point in time, in like the early to mid 90s, we would go to Laughlin when I was living in Arizona, because that was before Arizona had where allowed them to build casinos on reservations in Arizona. So the only place you could go to gamble, which my grandfather, God rest his soul, he's a good man, but one of his vices was gambling. Not incessant gambling. It's just he liked to go and play the slot machines, and he'd like to go and just kind of hang out at casinos. That's just how he was, But he was retired by that point, so do what you enjoy, right? But so we go to Laughlin a couple times, more than a couple times, and yeah.
You swaying.
What? You're breaking up.
I said, have you ever been in a tall building and felt it sway in the wind?
Yeah, that's why I don't like tall buildings.
It doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me.
Nope.
But when I look down and I'm standing on top of something that doesn't have any railings or guard or protection, something I can't hold on to, or at least I'm not strapped to like a rope or something, a climbing rope or something, then I get jittery. And I don't want to be anywhere near it.
I want to.
Did he break up for you guys?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
All I heard was I went up, and that was it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in an airplane, and when I'm in an airplane, I don't have that same feeling because I have a seat I can hold on to it. Yeah, if the plane goes down and whatnot, I don't have a parachute, so yeah, it sucks to be me. But again, with the whole airplane, at least I have a seat. Okay, something I can hold on to, so it doesn't bother me as much. But standing on top of the Hoover Dam and nothing to hold on to, that bothers me. And looking down, you understand what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I understand completely. I'm terrified of heights, dude.
Here's the thing.
I've been hard pressed to climb a freaking ladder. Man, I just can't do it
right now. But when I was younger, when I was a kid, I used to do a lot of rock climbing. I used to do a lot of rappelling, and that didn't bother me so much because I always had the right gear. I was always, had some form of rope that didn't break and cabling that made sure I was safe all the time. I used to do that kind of stuff all the time. That didn't bother me. But what bothers me is not having anything to hold on to. That completely gets me.
I'm terrified of heights, but I would like to try rappelling just because of that. I want to see if having that rope to hold on to and having the harness and all that would make a difference for me. I don't know if it would or not. Hell, I'd freeze halfway down and they'd have to cut the rope to get my ass to the bottom. I don't know.
And Vanessa Kidding saying, go do roofing and work through the fear.
Nope.
Being on top of a house doesn't bother me. That kind of height doesn't bother me because at most I'll break an arm or a leg, but I'll still live.
I don't know. I genuinely have the phobia of being afraid of heights. I'm terrified of it. Can't do it.
Yeah. Falling off a roof, you might break more in your arm or your leg.
Not as long as you're not, as long as it's not a three-story house. If it's like a one-story house,
one story.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for the link. I got to go get my show ready. I'll be on in about 20 minutes, folks. So
I'm not going to work on very tall roofs, Vanessa. You can go do that, and make sure to arm yourself with that Kunin. You don't know, what kind of ne'er-do-wells are around.
No, I started to say earlier. I went up in the St. Louis Arch with my son, and it progressively gets smaller as you go up. But once we got up there, oh yeah, you talk about swaying in the wind. Man, they said it's designed. I can't remember how far she said it's designed to sway the girl that was up there, but it's like 2 feet or something. It's crazy. And that day it was swaying at about 10 inches. I was like, wow. So, you ever small planes?
Huh?
Do you go up in small planes or just big ones?
Yeah, small planes don't bother me.
Huh. Yeah, my brother's a pilot, so I get to go up now and then.
As I said, planes don't bother me because, I have a seat. I have something to hold on to. It's just when I don't have anything to hold on to, it gets me skittish. And Vanessa's saying about roofs, and I've been on top of roofs. And most of the time, most often than not, it's usually been a 1-story or a 2-story roof. And those don't normally bother me. Okay? It's just when it's like, when we're talking, over like five stories, then it kind of bothers me.
I just avoid roofing altogether just because I hate doing roofing. I know how to do it. I'm not bad at it, and I don't want to be on real steep roofs.
Well, when I lived in Arizona, we my family had bought on more than one occasion a stucco type house, and what happened is on a stucco type house, every so often you have to retar and redo the roof because it's all flat.
Well, flat roofs. Flat roofs are easy. I mean,
So that's I had to help my dad do that when I was a kid.
I'm talking shingles.
No. These stucco houses are all flat roofs. At least this one was. It didn't have the terracotta roof.
Right.
It was just the normal stucco house with like a flat roof. So, we had to redo that, and that wasn't so bad. I mean, and yes, I even jumped off of the top of that roof, and I didn't break any legs or anything either. Of course, there's a trampoline right underneath me, but that's besides the point. I wanted to see how high I'd go.
So how high did you go?
I'm not going to jump off the roof anymore. That's how high I went. I was like, okay, I'm done there.
Did it flop you off the trampoline, or did you end up back on the trampoline?
I ended up back on the trampoline, but once is enough excitement for me,
Oh, I tell you, man, when we were kids, and I mean young kids, we used to jump off a roof as a dare, and honestly, probably why both my knees are shot to this day, other than all the other abuse that I put my body through with work and everything. But I'm pretty sure that jumping off the roof thing when I was a kid probably didn't help.
No, I used to climb in trees as a kid.
Oh yeah, me too.
So heights. It's weird. At some heights it bothers me, and at others it doesn't. So I don't know. It's not that I have a fear of heights because, I ride in planes all the time and I look outside the window to see the scenery, and the scenery looks nice. It doesn't bother me. But, when you're like at the edge of a cliff and there's nothing to hold on to, that's different. And that's the kind of feeling you get when you're at, like, I assume when you're at Hoover Dam. And I just don't want to, I don't want to go there.
Heck, I mean, honestly, he was on the lake side, and man, Lake Mead is so low right now, and just that would be a hell of a fall.
And here's the funny thing. I've been to the Grand Canyon on both occasions, on both sides, and it doesn't bother me. So, it's just weird.
Yeah, I don't know anymore. I just, like I said, I hate being on a roof. I go up and clean the limbs and stuff off our roof, and I don't like doing that.
Well, luckily the house I have doesn't have gutters, so I don't have to worry about cleaning the gutters.
Well, we got the hickey gutters, the gutter helmet. Yeah, the gutter helmet kind where and honestly they work. It was crazy because when they were brand new,
nobody believed them.
Well, when they were brand new, when we first put them on, the water was kind of not doing what it was supposed to. And I called the guys and I asked them, they said, let it rain about 4 times. He said, what happens is that metal has an oil coating on it. So the water doesn't grab to it like it should. And it takes a little bit of time for that oily coating to wash off. Once it did, they were beautiful. So, right. But no, we don't have any trees in our yard. We just get everybody else's limbs and leaves in our yard. So, every now and then I got to go up and clean them off the roof. And yeah.
Yeah, no, I've got trees galore. You've seen my backyard. I know you've seen my backyard because I know you've watched some of my live streams. So.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen the trees.
I have enough trees to spare.
Well, trust me, we got enough all around us, that's for sure. But matter of fact.
Oh, God. William Keller, I did not invent roofs, okay? I'm sorry, but I cannot take the credit for that one. Oh, my God. All right. So,
yeah, Rich. He says he don't have a fear of heights or falling. It's a sudden stop. Yeah, right? Exactly.
That's what gets you.
Yep, it's that sudden stop.
That sudden stop is rough.
Even if hitting water, that sudden stop could be if you hit it wrong. So.
Yeah. All right, so. Did anyone not get mail today? No, I got mail.
Yeah, I did too. I put it in there. I got mail.
I got a birthday card.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, it's not till next Tuesday. My sister sent it early because she's going out of town.
Well, happy early birthday.
Thank you.
How old you going to be?
59.
Oh, you're the old one in here. I'm usually the old one.
I'm sorry, Gary.
Why are you sorry? It's not a bad thing.
Hey, just be happy you're still alive, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's how I look at it.
I mean, I could say something like, I used to be young and dumb like you, but
I was trying to be nice, but okay, if you want to be an ass about it, all right. All right, old man, it's fucking on.
Hey, you whippersnapper.
I'll beat you with me cane.
Get off my damn lawn.
Oh, brother.
Get off my lawn, you damn kids.
Oh, we had people like that in our neighborhood when we were kids. I mean, you know, your ball go in their yard. Whatever. Laugh.
Everybody had that when they were kids.
It's like, oh, really? Us walking on your lawn is going to hurt it? Whatever.
It's not.
No,
it really isn't, because we know better. We know how science works, and you're just being an ass about it.
There you go. You'll have that.
All right.
I think we all had that one yard where if your ball got kicked in that yard, you didn't go get it.
Rich White is saying, someone call CNN. Night Strike is disrespecting his elders.
Everybody is elder.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's, fake news. Hashtag fake news.
Yeah, we had over at my grandma's house, there was a guy that lived at the end of the street. And mind you, it was a dead end street, and the house was like right at the very dead end of it. And they didn't have much yard to begin with, but my God, there was a big valley that went, behind all the houses back in. Okay. So, as kids, we'd go down in the valley and goof off down in there. It's all woods. We go down and shoot our BB guns, whatever. But I mean, we were young. This was way before we got BB guns. The neighbor boy that lived like kitty corner, I went over to see him, and we walked like just off the corner of this dude. He come out on a porch with a shotgun. Jesus Christ. Well, back then you could get away with shit like that. He didn't point it at us or anything, but he was holding it, and it was like, really, dude? Gonna shoot a couple kids for walking a foot on your lawn?
Well, about a mile outside of town when I was
you don't want to, but there's these thing called fences. You don't want anybody on your fucking lawn? Put up a fucking fence.
Yeah, right.
It's also called barbed wire. I mean, hell, how long do they have barbed wire fences? Even farmers use barbed wire fences. Put up a barbed wire fence. Nobody would get on your fucking lawn then.
Well, like I said, his lawn was like 2 postage stamps. Some people are just born asshole grumps.
Anyways, we're done talking about shit and complaining about stuff. So, moving on.
Moving on. That used to be a TV show.
No, we're not moving on up. We're moving on out.
No. Moving On was a TV show, and I bet you Gary remembers it.
Oh, God.
Oh, hell yes.
The only TV show worth mentioning is called Sledgehammer.
Sonny Pruitt. Sonny Pruitt. You remember Sonny Pruitt?
No.
Gizzard does.
All right. You guys keep on going. I'll be right back.
Oh. God, he left us in charge. This could get out of hand.
What I was saying a second ago is about a mile north of town's where the Neosho River used to run, north of where I grew up. And we used to go up there and float down the river. You could float a mile or two. But there was this one farmer that if you were in front of his house and he was out there, he'd come down with a shotgun. Because the way the law read back then is, at least in this state, if it was not a navigable stream, then the property owners owned to the middle of the river.
In Ohio, it's kind of like that. But I had an ODNR guy tell me nobody owns the river. So it basically...
I'm back. Well, technically the state does.
What? Yeah. Nobody landowner-wise. But like Gary was saying about in some areas around here, that was the way it was. I don't know if it still is. And it depends on the river.
The state owns the water in the river. But as far as the actual, jurisdiction over the land that the river is sitting on, it goes to the middle of the stream. If it's not a navigable stream, if it's a navigable stream, it's a different thing entirely. But we just go over the other side of the river and we was in front of Johnny's house because
Yeah, and
okay, I don't know this, Johnny, but okay.
Where do people really? What harm were you doing floating down the river?
You weren't.
Exactly. You just want to be a prick. You just want to be a prick.
Yeah. And I don't think he would have ever shot anybody if you'd held him to it because he went to jail for the rest of his life.
Right. He just wanted to be a prick.
He was just an old cranky guy.
Yeah. God,
I don't shoot kids for coming on my yard. But I do have fences up.
I've got trees. They create a natural barrier around my property.
And we got a fence around the backyard, but never really had too much problem here.
Of course, I'm so far out because my driveway is a dirt road. I don't think anybody thinks anybody lives back here. So, I don't have to worry about people being on my lawn.
But you're right next to a golf course, aren't you?
I know. That's the funny part.
Free golf ball.
If a golf ball gets into the forest, they just get another golf ball. They don't bother looking for it.
They don't come looking for them?
No. I found hundreds of golf balls.
I'd sell them back to them for 50 cents a piece. You can make a fortune.
No, I don't want to have to wash them because they all look dirty and dingy.
There was a guy that did that at one of our local.
Some of them have been sitting there a while. Let's put it that way.
This guy would go out and search the woods and everything, and he'd find it, and he'd take them back to the clubhouse and sell them to him. So what's the weather like out there, Gary?
Well, it warmed up above freezing today. It's 34 right now, but it's a little breezy, so it's a little chilly out there.
It was in
cloudy.
the 50s today.
What's that?
Right. It was in the 50s here today.
Shut up.
It got a low 3 last night. I took that Instagram shot when it was 5. Well, it got 2 degrees colder after that.
I mean, it was in the 60s, yesterday.
Yeah, Richard Hughes was on earlier, and he's driving, and he says, "Oh yeah, it's cold here. It's 61." He's in Florida, I'm like, 61. That's like t-shirt weather. Come on. No, it's
No. See, in South Carolina and Florida, t-shirt weather is like 70.
Yeah.
Okay. You might be able to get away with flip-flops in 60-degree weather, but that's as far as you take it. If it goes below 60, it's cold.
Here's the funny thing is, we got this blizzard and dumped about 2 foot of snow on us, 1.5 feet, I don't know. It's hard to tell it drifted so bad, but we got that. And Wednesday, it got up to 45 degrees and rained. And
poor baby.
What a freaking mess. And of course, it's top temperatures down to about 10 now, and the wind chill is just brutal. But no, it was 45 degrees out. I was walking around outside in flip-flops. So, yeah. Not now. My toes would be froze off. Hashtag I hate winter.
Mad Sexy says it's 75 here and 49 at night. Well, that's because you're out in California. And I'm sorry, but I won't trade any amount of weather for oppression like California. Sorry, but no. I've got family that live in California. My grandmother was from California. God rest her soul. But no, I'm not going back to California. Nope. I will also not go and visit family in New York because fuck New York. Nope. Because they live in New York City.
Oh, nope. Never been there. Don't really want to be there.
Well, technically Long Island, but still.
It's New York City.
It's New York. I don't care. Uh-oh. Jumpy is out there. Mr. 10mm himself has finally made an appearance. I like 10mm, but I like 357 SICK better.
Martin Korf says it's 5 degrees in Chicago.
Oh, wow. That's cold.
It's going to get that cold tonight here, so yeah. Bleh. I keep saying, why do I still live here? And the only thing that keeps me here is family and friends. If it wasn't for that, I would out of here.
Tonight it's supposed to get down to below freezing, 29 degrees.
Ooh.
People are getting pissed off. It's like, Night Strike, you got warm weather. Shut up.
Yeah. It's every freaking day here. Let's be real.
Yeah.
No.
If it comes up above freezing, we say, "Oh shit, spring's coming."
Wow. That's spring-like weather.
I guess it's January, so what to
expect. The snow's starting to melt and stuff like that. You get excited.
Snow. What's this thing you call snow?
Come out my front yard and look at it. You want to see it? Been there since pretty much the last month or two.
Or just check your video from last year around this time.
Oh, yeah.
You know what snow is.
I gotta send you a picture.
Uh-oh.
We've also had entire winters here where we hardly got any snow. So it kind of varies.
Yeah, I was going to say same here. Same here. Some winters and well, this is the thing too. It stayed warm. I mean, right up until Christmas, it was, we were having 60-degree weather at times, and it's like, man, we're going to get nailed. And, sure enough, here it is, the vengeance. Let me find this. Now, I took a picture of the snow on the top of a post on our back porch. That's what I'm going to send you, and that'll just give you an idea. It's a 4x4 post.
Are you going to email that to me?
I'm texting it to you.
Oh my God! You're gonna make me text. Oh, fucking hell!
Technology, not technology. No,
No, not technology. Machines of convenient aren't never convenient.
He's got one of them there Androids, so God only knows if he can actually get the picture off there.
Right?
Hey, that's what I'm using. I'm Android powered LG cheapo. No, it said it went.
Hey, somebody got a text. You got text.
Crazy how it piled up that way too. It was.
Are you sure you weren't trying to make a giant dick out of snow?
That is that is all natural, buddy.
It's all natural. That's one hell of a
isn't that crazy?
Sculpture.
And that's nature. Nature did that, dude. When I saw that, I went, I have got to take a picture of this. That's just nuts. Winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
I'm not showing that.
That little building over there is my little shop. That's where I'm at right now. But let's see.
Well, Mel, no one was going to say that that 45 isn't better than 10 millimeter. Guess it is.
I'll send it to you too, Gary.
Okay.
It's just I mean, just lets you know what kind of snow we got, and it's kind of comical. You wouldn't think that it would do that, but it did it. So, and the weird thing is it wasn't just falling straight down; it was blowing around. So I don't know if that's like drift on top of a post. It's just weird.
It's aliens.
The chat wants to see it. I'm not sure I want them to see it, but all right. The chat has spoken. You guys want to see this? All right, here you go.
I already saw it. Ah.
This is it. That's it right there. Now you're saying you didn't do this naturally yourself. This is it. That's it right there. Now you're saying you didn't do this naturally yourself.
No, that's winter. That's nature did that, brother.
You're sure?
Yep.
This looks a little too perfect for you.
I don't know what to tell you, buddy, but that was nature. Like I said,
It's on the right side of the house where the wind doesn't blow. Yeah.
Well, where that's at, the back porch, the back door is just behind. In other words, I was standing basically in the back door, opened the door, took the picture, and then the side of the house would go down to the left. You know what I'm saying? So the back porch sticks out a little bit. There was a drift on the roof of the back porch that basically it drifted over. I should have taken a picture of that because that was quite interesting. But yeah, winter, yuck. I hate winter.
It'll be over with here in a few months. And it'll be 100 degrees here in about 6 months.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like I said, I lived in Kansas, and it gets hot out there as much as it does here, and
it gets cold and it gets damn hot too. You get everything here.
Yeah, Rich said he's seen it happen on post before, so yeah.
We don't get hurricanes here like Night Strike gets, so
yeah, you can have that.
Well, we don't just get hurricanes here. We can also get tornadoes here.
Yeah, you get the best of both there.
Yeah.
It's strange, where I live in Ohio, and some of the hurricanes that have come up the coast and then went west, and we don't, it's not like you're on the coast or anything, but we've seen some weird weather from hurricanes here.
But it could be worse. At least we don't get tsunamis here.
Yeah.
All right.
Unless Lake Erie's going to cause one, we're not going to get one, and I doubt it even get to me. So
yeah.
No,
I have not, Mad Sexy. How is it?
Pecan cake? I've had pecan pie. Never had
pecan pie is killer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I had pie. I'm not.
Or they say in the South, pecan.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say it like they say it in the South, even though I live there. And I certainly live in the South because I live in the city the Civil War started in. You can't get much further south than that.
Then where?
Well, you can, but then you're in Florida.
I was gonna say I've been way further south than you are, bud.
So wait, you've been in Florida?
Oh yeah.
I've been to Florida too.
I had friends that lived in Tampa, and then we'd go out. We drove as far east as Daytona Beach and stuff like that. I never made it down to like Miami and stuff like that, but yeah.
I've been to the Keys once.
I have never been to Florida. I drove over the road for about 6 months, and I got, let me see, I went all the way as far as Kansas, trying to think, down across all the states, and I've only been to New York State once. I went to Buffalo, but all those states, of course, have been North, South Carolina, all that, but unfortunately, what's that? What's that, Gary?
I said I've been to Buffalo.
The thing of it is, though, is when you're driving and working, you drive right through, and you never have a chance to really stop.
Well, I went to Niagara Falls about 9 years ago, so you kind of drive right through Buffalo on the way there.
Right. Well, matter of fact, I had a load going up there, and my son was, God, this is 15 years ago at least, maybe even longer. He's 30 now. God. I think he was only 12 or 13. So, yeah, it's been a few years.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with being 30 or a little over 30.
But I had a load going to Buffalo, New York, and it was fall, not quite winter, but it wasn't warm. And of course, it's the off season up there. But we went to Niagara Falls just to see it. And, of course, it was a crappy weather and rainy. But, hey, at least we saw it. He got to see it. So. But I'd like to go when it's actually nice out.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
But I figured, hey, I was there, I might as well, right? And it was funny because I knew that I was going to have some time once I got there, because that load that I was picking up didn't have to be back to the other place that I was going till the next day, and I had plenty of time. So I thought, we're gonna stop. So I dropped the trailer and just bobtailed over to the falls in the semi-tractor.
Yeah, in the summertime, you can actually go down and get on one of the boats that go out underneath the falls. That's pretty killer.
Yeah, I think that'd be neat. Even though I have this fear of drowning. I know how to swim. Drowning just doesn't sound like a fun way to go. I want it to be quick when I go.
They give you a raincoat.
Yeah.
Which is basically a trash bag. One of them trash bag parkas. That's what they give.
Disposable.
Yes, it is.
No, I've seen a lot of the footage, people going there and riding on the boat and all that. Like I said, when we went, none of that was happening.
And at night, they have colored lights that they shine from across the way onto the water and onto the falls and stuff. It looks really neat.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of that. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going back, in nice weather, just to see it.
Everybody ought to do it once. Of course, I still haven't seen Mount Rushmore. That's one of the things I want to see, too.
Me neither. Never seen Hoover Dam.
Seen Hoover Dam.
Well, and farthest west I've been is Arizona, and basically that was to go help a friend move back. He flew me out there, and we basically packed the biggest damn rental truck he could get. But, you know, we spent most of the week working and packing, you know what I mean? He paid me to go out. He paid for my flight, you know. But, yeah, I went out November 1st, and I left here. It was, you know, it was chilly. I had a jacket, and, you know, I walked out of the airport underneath in the shade, you know, you can 2 levels there. And he said he'd pick me up. As soon as them doors open, it was like, oh my God, I just stepped into an oven. It was like 97 degrees in Phoenix, and that was in the shade. Yeah, I have no desire to live in the Valley of the Sun, put it that way.
Well, most of the places I've
Arizona's great.
I wouldn't want to live there.
I love Arizona.
Well, and everybody says
I won't go and I'm not probably going to move back to Arizona because the fact that it's turning into California. So, yeah, no, I'd rather stay in South Carolina as far as living, but I wouldn't mind visiting.
Have you or the panel chat been to see the Constitution? I haven't.
I have. I've seen it.
I haven't been that far into, even though I lived near D.C. when I was younger, I haven't been that far into Washington, D.C. So, no, I haven't seen the Constitution.
I was in D.C., but I was like 8 or 9 years old, so I don't remember that much of it.
My aunt and uncle live in Sterling, which is outside of D.C., and my uncle, well, he worked for the government for a few years, and then he worked for TRW, which was government, and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, we'd go down and visit him every now and then, and I've been to D.C., I think, 3 times. But, of course, the Smithsonian, man, if you get a chance, go to the Smithsonian.
I do remember that.
Man, what a museum. But yeah, we went to the archives and saw the Constitution, and they got this little model of the vault that if anything goes wrong, they push a button and it just folds up and goes down into this vault in the floor, and it's pretty cool. But oh yeah, but that was, I think the last time I was there, I was maybe 15. So yeah, it's been a few years. I'd love to go back and get to the Smithsonian again after all these years. From what I understand, they built another building, so, you know.
Awesome. All right, guys, I think it's about time to kill it. So I want to thank everyone for showing up and chatting with us and hanging out. We got, who did we have out there? We had Mel the Nut. We had Mad Sexy. Who else did we have? We had Jumpy was out there. Taco and French Fries was out there. William Keller. What else we had? I'm sure we had more than that. I know Two Live Moo was out there. Vanessa Kitty was out there. Who else? Psycho 316. Rob D. NY Outcast was out there. Who else showed up? AC97 came by. Anybody else other than that? I know Michael Sains was out here. Sim Cowboy was here.
Of course, Rick's here.
Atypical Jake was here, and there were a couple others. Can't scroll back up that far, but I want to thank everyone for showing up. Thank the panelists for jumping in. You know, Budget went to do his show. His show's live right now, so go check that out. I want to thank Armament Naxis for showing up. Thank you, Armament Naxis.
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank Gizzard Gary for showing up. Thank you, Gary, for jumping in.
Thank you.
And with that, we will see you later. I may or may not be doing gaming with Matt tonight. It just depends on what happens. And if I don't, I may jump in onto Gary's chat if I'm not playing video games or working on video editing because I got videos I got to get out.
You will get a link regardless.
So we will see you guys later. Everyone, take it easy. And thank you for watching the Friday Night Strike.
Give him the bird.
Peace to all. Stay 2A strong.
I, Felicia,
Shall not be infringed.
shall not be infringed. Give them the bird.
Shall not
Bird
be
is a word.
Surfer bird.